guys, it's Johnny coming to yet another Playouts Kai figure review. Here I have for you today from the 2013 Tomb Raider reboot, Lara Croft. So let's jump right in and have a look at her packaging. Packaging wise, Lara comes in a very nicely detailed Playouts Kai box. Of course, we have to have the name of the game at the top, Tomb Raider. Of course, we also have a nice image of Lara's figure in all of its glory in one of her iconic poses seen in game. We also have the Playouts Kai logo in very tiny font. We have Lara Croft there. On the sides at the top, we have Tomb Raider's logo and Playouts Kai. And at the back here, we have some nicely detailed shots of Lara with all of her accessories doing some badass poses. And at the bottom here, we just have credits and warnings. Like your typical Playouts Kai box, this opens up to reveal the figure in all of its glory and all of her weapons. It's nicely detailed with the fire in the background. And of course, we have the nice font going on to the plastic, and that's very much like the in-game font. We have those little symbols that they use in-game too. On the side here, we just have kind of a blurb / summary of Lara herself and the game, and the weapons that are included, which is so fancy. I really like it. Now let's jump right in and have a closer look at the figure herself. So here we have Lara Croft right out of the packaging, and as you guys can see here, she is stunning! 10 times more better than how she is portrayed online. I've always been on the fence about this figure ever since she came out, which has been well over a year now, but I decided to pick her up to see what she's all about, so let's jump right in and have a closer look at all of her details. Face-wise, as you guys can see here, she is a very attractive figure, though she isn't very accurate to her in-game self. In-game, she kind of has this rounder baby face with innocent eyes, while here she has a narrower face with kind of determined eyes. She looks like a slightly older woman, while in-game she is supposed to be 21. They also added this kind of brown shading around her eyes, which does not photograph well. It really looks like she has raccoon eyes in photographs, but in real life it looks fantastic, and it adds to the grittiness of her overall look. Hair-wise, they did a fantastic job with the molding, as you guys can see, with all the wispy parts going individual ways. It looks fantastic, and that is also highlighted by the paint job with nice shading with light brown and dark brown going all the way around. Overall, the paint job on her whole body is fantastic, going for the gritty look all around. Since she is trying to survive the island of Yamatai, they did a fantastic job with the molding as well. As you guys can see, especially on the wrinkles with the pants, it looks fantastic. That would have been painted in the butt to do individually, and they did a great job with all the details on the buckles, on the bandages as well that go around her pants. As you guys can see, it goes on the thigh, on her hands, on her arm. Something people have been complaining about though is the joints that she has on her arms. They don't look like they're painted, and compared to the rest of the body, it does stand out a little bit. I do see that as well, but it doesn't really bother me as much. What bothers me more is the joint in her leg, which is painted kind of a darker brown compared to her pants, and that kind of stands out overall. She also has nice detailing, as you guys can see. They added her necklace as well, which is such a small detail, but they added such great molding to it. She has these kind of, what is it called, gun holsters that she has. It's kind of a loose and it's rubbery, so it kind of helps with articulation a tad bit, though it still limits her a little bit. And she has the shotgun holster as well. She has her watch as well, which is fantastic. Articulation wise, she has rotation in the head. She can tilt up, she can tilt up, and she can tilt down, that's what I meant. She has the rotation in her hair. I kind of wish this was on a ball joint though, so you can stick it out this way, but unfortunately that is not the case. We have 360 in her arms, a bicep swivel. Her shoulders kind of do this in and out motion to kind of extend her reach, but the right one doesn't seem to do much, unfortunately. I'm guessing that's just mine though. She has great elbow movement, and she has fantastic wrist joints as well, which is on just normal straight pegs. We have her kind of slight ab crunch, which is really limited because of her shotgun holster there, and I'm guessing maybe because her breast size. They made her look a little bit more voluptuous than she is in game with her butt pads and chest area, but I do understand why they did that, since it is Lara Croft after all, so that is very limited. But her waist is very limited as well because of this gun holster, unfortunately. She has the really ratchety leg joints. As you guys can see, something I do not like about this leg joints is that they do pop out of the actual crotch area and the butt pad, so that is very unattractive. As you guys can see, she has this little gap there, but you can push it back in. And something I do not like, or I do like, but I don't like how it looks, is that she has fantastic knee articulation, but it looks like she grew an extra limb, unfortunately. It looks really, really unnatural. I try to not bend it so much, so that looks a lot more natural than that which has just a flat surface. It's funny, it's really funny looking. I think they need to improve on that, and she has kind of a rotation on her foot, and it can slightly tilt, slightly swivel, it's very, very slight. So articulation wise, she is pretty limited in certain areas, but again, she is pretty decent, not too bad. Height comparison wise, next to some other iconic gaming characters, Lara stands tall at 8 inches. That is your typical player Kai scale though, as you guys can see. Sora from Kingdom Hearts here stands 7.5, 8 inches. These three are from Figma. Samus stands 6. Link stands 5.5, and Pete stands 4.5, and Lonely Mario here from SH Figuarts stands 4. I would have hoped Lara and Sora here stand about in 6-inch range. I think that would have been so cool, and they would have blended in with the other import figures like SH Figuarts and Figma, but unfortunately that is not the case. Players Kai is in their own range, so they can only really stand next to each other since they are so much taller than everyone else and are so out of scale, unfortunately. But now let's jump in and have a closer look at all of Lara's accessories. Accessories wise, Lara comes with a nice range of things from weapons hands to even a player's Kai stand. As you guys can see here, she has 2 left hands and 3 right hands, and they are used to hold her variety of weapons. Of course, we have her trusty bow, and that includes 1 arrow, just 1 unfortunately. You don't even get a quiver, which is kind of sad. The bow itself is nicely detailed, but the weird thing is, instead of using an actual string, they kind of use this plastic just lining, which can be detached at the top and bottom here just to get on her body a little bit more easier. We also get her climbing axe, and I have to tell you guys, be careful when getting these stuff out of the packaging, since that packaging is really, really tough. So my climbing axe kind of suffered. It's a little bent and a little broken in the center here. I'll just use super glue to fix that. Super glue has been my friend recently, very trusty friend. He helps me with everything. We also get her pistol. Unfortunately, you only get 1. Of course, Lara is the master of dual pistols in the future, so it's kind of sad that she only gets 1 in this pack. And we have her shotgun, which I kind of have a little gripe about. It's nicely detailed though. It wasn't very functional, as you guys can see. It has a little broken piece there, which is lying over there. That was broken when I was pulling it out of the shotgun holster. That little piece really stuck out, so when you pulled it out and put it back in, it was so tough. And it's kind of easier now since it is broken to pull it in and out, which is nice, but I will probably just super glue that back on just to have it on the shotgun itself. Of course, we also get the Players Kai stand that we have to assemble ourselves. I'm kind of sad that she didn't come with her machine gun. That's the only thing that seems to be missing out of all of her weapons. But other than that, she has a nice range of things. So now let's jump in and gear Lara up. So here we have Miss Croft, bow and arrow in hand, ready to hunt some deer. And as you guys may have been able to tell, I had a huge difficulty trying to get that bow and arrow to stay on her hands. The hands themselves are not the best things. They don't really grip the bow and arrow themselves that tightly, so if you do touch the figure, everything will start to fall down, unfortunately. Something else I also had a little gripe about is that her hands don't really able her to support that much weight. They are really loose, at least my one's really loose. Let's take these down. It's super loose, so if you do have like a shotgun in the hand, it will slide down. Even when I have this little pistol, it does tend to slide down a lot. Again, the shotgun itself is super difficult to get in and out. Mine's easy now since it is broken, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna fix it since it's just so easy now. And of course, I'm kind of disappointed about that she doesn't have this little like clip or anything to hold her climbing axe. In the game, she has the climbing axe stored on her waist here. I think it would have been really nice detail if they added a clip just to have it stored so all of her weapons are on her body, but unfortunately that is not the case here. Of course, we also get the Play Arts Kai stand, which took 10 minutes for me to make. 10 minutes! That's crazy to make, to spend that much time on this stand, since you guys may know I'm not a huge fan of this stand. I much prefer Figma or Figuart stands. They're just so much easier. This one is a little bit more better than the Sora Kingdom Hearts one. I think that one was just a little loose in certain areas, that's why it kept falling down. Of course, we get 2 clamps, which is nice, so if you do have a bigger figure, this can hold other things as well, like maybe dolls or larger action figures, anything you want really. Overall, it's a decent stand. It just takes too much time, too much effort, and it's, you know, it's just decent. So overall, even though I did have a few gripes about Lara, I still think she is a wonderful figure to be included into anyone's collection, with fantastic aesthetics, decent articulation, and accessories. And as you guys can see here, she can do some pretty badass poses, with some time of course. It took a lot of time actually, but overall, she is fantastic. If you are a fan of Tomb Raider or Lara Croft herself, or gaming in general, I highly recommend her. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye!